welcome back to the channel. This will be a review on the Artisan 1/6 scale Blade Runner 2049 Agent K Joe figure. I hope you enjoy the review, folks. Drop a like on it for me. Let's help more people find the channel and this review by hitting the like button, subscribe, and check me out on Instagram at DeanKnight333. Enjoy the review. This is everything you get. You get the metal badge, which is really nice, and it's heavy and very cool. And you get 3 ungloved hands, which are really nicely painted. Just the kind of nice matte finish on there and the skin tone. If I was going to get the regular head sculpt repainted, I'd send along one of these hands as an example of how to match it to those. Then you get 5 gloved hands, Deckard's gun, and the badge. You get this cool display card. It says Blade Runner. There's the regular head sculpt, and a little card that came in the box, Artisan Studio Company, and a full spare outfit. You just need the body, and you could set yourself up a second figure. You got boots, pants, sweater, jacket, it's all there. So, and the base, which is a really strong big magnet, and the little wooden horse as well. He's missing his gun holster that you can see when he takes off the jacket in the film. Unfortunately, they did not include that. It should be there. In various places there's this kind of goopy, kind of thick, it's not sticky, it's not even really that sticky to touch, but that is there to keep the jacket nice and tight to the leg, and it doesn't do any damage. You can just pull it away and remove it if you want to. I think it's also underneath the jacket here as well to keep them nice and flat. Base is really nice. It's got a very straightforward, cool design. It reminds me of the kind of thing InArt would do. The whole thing has a slight InArt vibe to it. It's not at that level at all, but it's obviously striving for that level, and they came to pretty damn close, especially with the clothing, even though certain things are not the right color, but we'll talk about that during the review. But there's a really strong big magnet in this base. It's beautifully weathered, and you got the really nice official font on the front there, just so everyone knows exactly what this is. It does sometimes kind of lose his neck a little bit, especially when you kind of fiddle with the collar. I'm still, have to work on the collar to make it more movie accurate. But I'm going to wait until I do the recoloring of the jacket before I finalize that. I'll just review it pretty much as you get it. Keep everything stocked for this review, and there will be modification videos coming up in the future. I'll show you how to recolor the jacket. I've still got to do mine here, so I'm just hoping it goes well. I finally found the color I think I need to be using. It's called Viridian, and it was quite hard to find. I couldn't find it in a dye. I ordered some dark green dye, and then I knew that wasn't right, so I thought maybe if I get some blue to mix with the dark green, maybe I can kind of get to the color I need. And I just went on Google and just typed in different shades of green and came across Viridian, and I thought that looks about as close as I'm going to get. So I found some acrylic paint, Viridian acrylic paint, and I'll show you more about that later. But you can color clothing with acrylic paint, and I won't be washing this after I do it, so it should be fine. Obviously I won't be painting pure acrylic paint onto the clothing. I'm going to water it down a lot and paint it on with a brush. Yeah, so my original point I was saying about the neck can sometimes look like it's kind of disappearing a little bit, because the neckline of the sweater is a little bit tight. In the movie it's a bit more loose and you can see more of his neck. I tried to stretch it a little bit, but it didn't really have much of an effect. So I have slightly not got the head all the way connected down to the magnet. It is connected, but I just kind of gently lifted it a little bit and it stayed in place, and it's looking pretty good at that level. I should probably start with the regular head, so I just love this one so much. I'll go back to the regular head in a minute for you. It's weird, as good as it is, as I'm moving around it, sometimes it transforms into Ryan Reynolds. So maybe they've got a similar structure of face, I'm not sure, but there are times when you're looking at it where it looks exactly like, Gosling. And at the sides there, at the top of his hair looks a bit too red. So I have a feeling I'm going to end up repainting the hair as well. on both heads. Don't think I can do much about the glossy face. I just don't really have the confidence to repaint a human, head sculpt. I do a lot of Myers stuff and Predator and, creatures and gore and stuff like that, but actually painting human skin realistically, I don't think I'm going to be risking that at all. I switched it up for you. But I'd rather send this head sculpt, not the battle damage one. I'm happy with that one, to be honest with you. I don't mind the wet look for that because it makes sense because of the scene. This one, like I said in the unboxing, he does look quite clammy at various points in the film, especially when you get close-ups of him just staring at something. Like when he finds the horse, you get a close-up and he just looks quite sweaty. And he often does. So that doesn't really bother me. I'd prefer it was more matte, like his hands. And I'm always spotting that extra red sort of tone on the side of his hair near the tops of his ears. So yeah, it's really coming through for some reason. The lights I'm using are on cool at the moment. They're not warm lights, so I don't know where that red's coming from. So I'm going to have to repaint that. But I'd like the hair to be a bit darker anyway. It was often quite wet in the movie. It looked a little bit darker than this. But on this head sculpt, I couldn't get to do that trick where I just slightly disconnected it and it still stayed attached like the battle damage one. This one, it just wants to be, magnetized to the magnet. So what I did was I just put a little bit of blue tack over the magnet in the head sculpt, and then it still connects. It's just got a bit of blue tack making his neck a little bit longer. I think proportion wise that just looks better, because trust me, without it, especially once you've seen it like this, it looks like he doesn't really have a neck. Alright, so let's get as close as I can and let's just see how things are looking here. So the sculpt itself, I should mention the head sculpts are quite light. Even with the little magnet at the bottom, they are very light feeling, the actual head sculpts themselves. They've got that kind of feeling of a custom head sculpt you get that's been, duplicated many times, and the actual sculpt is quite light. Even if the custom paint job is incredible, the head sculpt remains very lightweight, and that's how this feels. But the body kind of makes up for that when you're holding the figure in your hand. See, that's looking really good to me. It's just the way I got lucky now with the lighting. I've been trying to make it look good before and struggling a little bit, but let me know at this moment in the video, folks, is this looking as good to you as it does to me right now? See, I'm not crazy about that whole side of the head paint job with the hair. Even where it meets the skin there at his temple just looks a bit just, for close-up stuff, it really kills it. And I'm just getting too much red coming from the hair as well. So that'll definitely need repainting. I can do that simple enough. Take me time. I've even done a little trick. If you've seen my Asmus Toys Evil Dead 2 Ash Williams figure, I did sort of darken his stubble, and that was the first time I ever tried doing something like that, but it had a really good effect. So I'll just copy that technique on Gosling here and just make his stubble a little bit, I don't know if it needs it. I'll think about that. I'll do the hair first and then sit with it for a day or two. Think about what I'm going to do. I definitely feel like adding some dirt and grime to his face here, because that beginning scene on the farm, even when he was just sitting in the chair before anything kicked off, he was still looking quite grimy. This is just a little bit too clean for my taste. Side profile is alright. I think it's better dead on from the front or slightly askew, but I don't know, from this side profile something is bugging me about the face there. I'm not seeing Ryan Gosling from this angle. If I zoom in, does it change? I mean, the shape of his nose, the bridge of his nose, I noticed that in the film. They seem to have got that really, really right. It could just be the paint job here, and the hair is not helping. It looks like a dude with auburn hair at times. And the redness of the nose, that hasn't jumped out at me since I've been filming. I've only just thought about that again now because I made myself remember about it to keep an eye out for it. in my head at this moment. I was like, is the nose looking red? Not too bad from the side. The nostrils are, and you know, as the skin sort of goes onto the bridge of the nose at the side, it kind of blends into the more redness quite nicely. And a little bit of Gosling coming back now at this angle. And he got his little beauty mark, or whatever you call it, on the side there by his eye. Some little subtle crow's feet on the side of the eyes as well. Yeah, the hair is styled just a little bit too neat for me at the top. There was some little spikes sticking out throughout the movie. Whenever you got a close-up, it was a little bit more rough and ready looking. This is a little bit kind of, you know, the kind of guys who come around your house wanting to talk to you about Jesus. Bless them. Let's get a look on the rotating base. Remember, I have put a little bit of blue tack between the magnet for the neck to make the neck a little bit longer. I did tweak my collar during the unboxing video, which you can see, just to make it kind of sit at the right level at the back. That's the only point right in the middle at the back that I've added any glue, and I wanted to wait until I've recolored the jacket before I finish the collar off. And I think the proportions with the slightly longer neck look really good. The jacket is not quite the right color. The original pictures that they released of the prototype, I guess, that seemed to be a lot closer. And now they're very much kind of just a light grey. And you can see the text on the back. But you can see the body shape at the back as well. It's all so well done. It really is beautiful work with the clothing. Now, I saw in other reviews that he's quite a bit shorter than most figures, so I'll do some height comparisons for you during this video. I think that looks really nice. Very realistic. Boots are really nice. They're really well weathered. Because they come up quite high, you don't have to worry about them tipping forward, because the boots make them very stable. But yeah, you get two sets of those boots. That's really cool that you get two completely separate outfits. Just need to figure out the body situation. Just show you one thing I keep running into. I love the magnet wrist pegs. It's really easy and they're quite strong. But if you want to make subtle adjustments, I want to get them pointing the gun straight like that. But see what happens when I let go? The magnet just says, nope, it's not happening, mate. You're not doing that. I just want to point the gun straight. Nope. So I've done my best with the gun, trying to get it pointed in a good way, but it's a matter of, well, yeah, it just doesn't look quite right. There's probably a way to solve that, probably again involving our good friend in the 1/6 community, blue tack. Sticky tack. There is some weathering in the jacket here in places, or it might just be shadows. Let me see the pocket lining. Is there any weathering? It might be there, subtle. But he had all that kind of sea salt on his pants and the jacket by the end of the movie. So I'll have to... Oh, my girlfriend had a brilliant idea about that. She said I was going to use paint. And she said, why don't you use talcum powder and hairspray to kind of seal it? And I was blown away by that, because she just... That's a really good idea. So thanks, babes. Mind you, I know that Clipper King used talcum powder for something back in the day. I don't know if it was clothing, but I think it was more skin or something, or... I forget, but yeah, it's been done. It's been used for various things in the past, I know, by other people, but I was just really blown away that I was just sitting there randomly and she just came out of it. She's like, why don't you use talcum powder and hairspray? We're talking about the sea salt stains on the clothing. I was just really impressed with that. So that's what I'll do. I don't feel compelled to get any of the other characters from this movie, even though I don't know who makes it, but I did see recently that the what's his name, Wallace or something, the Jared Leto character, I saw there is a figure of him. I wouldn't want it, but it did look cool. I think there's a Joy figure coming out, maybe by the same people who made this. That did look really cool. I just don't have the room, folks, you know. I don't have the room for this. But I just love the movie so much. I kind of talked myself out of this one for a month or two, and then couldn't deny it any longer. Jared Leto is not an actor I tend to like very much, but he was very, very good in that role in this film. I think he suited that character really, really well. So fair enough on that one. And Love, I can't remember the actress's name, but the lady who played Love was incredible. Absolutely incredible. The quality of the leather glove sculpt hands are really, really good. Very, very nice sculpt on those. Lovely texture. They really look like gloves. I've heard some folks saying the guns are a bit underscaled. I wasn't paying too much attention to that aspect of it when I was watching it again, so I might have to take take your word on that one. But I'm not sure that's something that's going to bug me. It's certainly not bugging me right now. But very impressive. Really nice sculpt on the hands. We'll check out some of the other ones now. Yeah, it just looks like a really tightly clenched fist. You can see the wrinkles where he's tightly clenching, and the relaxed hand looks really good too. Just going to look at his badge here. That's really nicely done. It's quite a thin kind of fake leather or whatever it is, so you're able to fold it over if you want to, and you can pretty much read all that text on the left hand side as well. You're having a laugh. The numbers are actually on the bottom of the horse. I can't see it with my naked eye, but if I zoom in enough on the camera I can make it out. That is nuts. Yeah, I do remember seeing that in someone's review. I forgot about that, but the numbers are there. But yeah, definitely some of the best hands I've seen. They're really up there with some of the best. There's nothing really holding these back. The texture on the fingers there, you can see the skin, then around the knuckles, fingernails, the different tones, they really are. You've got cuticles, really are excellent hands, folks. Really, really good. You don't want me to get this out, do you? You've seen it in other people's reviews. It's Deckard's gun. Some folks are saying it's a bit small. It may very well be. I like the handle being kind of transparent. Do you know, I've still never seen the first movie all the way through. I tried about 10 years ago. I got about an hour into it and I just it wasn't doing it for me. Whereas Blade Runner 2049 sucked me in straight away. And a lot of that is to do with the score. I think it's Hans Zimmer. But it's an amazing score to the movie, and the visuals, the way it just pulls you slowly in. I love a nice slow burn film if it's good. But yeah, forgive me folks, I'm going to keep the Deckard gun in the plastic. I don't know why. Should I just get it out and stop being an idiot? Yeah, probably do that, Dean. Right, that means I've got to find something sharp. Bear with me. What else? So it's about 2 in the morning now. I got to get this done and edited and uploaded onto YouTube before I go to bed, so I'll probably be finding the pillow about 7 a.m. and then you got T800 coming tomorrow, so got to obviously do that as soon as possible, because that's just the name of the game on YouTube. You gotta, if you're getting a new Hot Toys figure nice and early, you gotta get it done. So looking forward to that, but don't know how much sleep I'm gonna get, because the Ups delivery, I got the figure from Toy Assembly. Never bought anything from them before. Certainly got it here quick. 2 days. Coming tomorrow, but it's got to be signed for, and my doorbell doesn't work, so yay. I left a note on the door saying, here's my phone number, please ring me and I will just come down and get the parcel off you. But it all depends what kind of delivery guy you get. You might be like, I'm not going to do that. It's not my fault your doorbell's not working. Later on, do a little stroll down the street with me figure. I'm sure it'll be fine. What was I doing? Right, I got it out. It's not too bad, is it? I don't know about the scale, but the details look good. I've even got some writing on there along the barrel. See, I know me stuff. Barrel, handle, triggers, clips. Right, so in situations like this, when a head sculpt is in debate amongst the community and some people are wondering if it's any good or not, best to take the head sculpt off the body and put it on a rotating base, and let's just take a look at it on its own turning here. And I'm going to look at this with you now, because I'm quite keen to see this too. See, I just think that looks friggin' good, but other times I'm not so impressed. It depends where I place it down in the house or outdoors. It just changes from time to time. I'm looking forward to seeing the head sculpt once I get rid of the reddish tones. I mean, don't get me wrong, I am aware that his hair's not dark brown in the film. It's probably lighter than that, but it's just wet and kind of grungy looking. I can see around those areas above his ears where there is a warmer tone. I just think on this head sculpt it's coming across a little bit Tintin at times, you know. Most of you don't know who Tintin is, I'm sure. Look it up, Google it. Tintin. He used to be on when I was a kid and that. So yeah, this is looking good though. I think it's a great sculpt. The paintwork here for the mass-produced studio version, unfortunately I didn't get the version with the COA. Someone said in the comments, kind of distinguishing the difference between the two releases. You get the one with the COA, which I think was the first batch, and that was all painted by the artist, so the head sculpts are a lot better looking. And then you got these ones. I got mine from Giant Toy, I think you call it. So yeah, I didn't know what I was getting. I just finally had the chance to get one, and I thought I'd swoop it up, you know, before someone else did. And it's here now, and I am very satisfied. Not 100% satisfied. You ain't going to be getting a 10 out of 10 or even a 9 out of 10. We'll talk about that at the end of the video, but I am glad it's here. I love the film. I think this is a great representation of Agent K, or Joe, from the movie, and I will be very happy to have this on my shelf with other iconic movie characters. So what do you think of this footage here? How are you feeling about the sculpt? Let me know. I'll switch it out now to the battle damage one. There we go. That one. I mean, I think the expression is basically the same. The sculpt is the same, but the eyes are definitely looking a little bit more upward, I think, on the battle damage one, which they should be for that iconic scene where he's looking up at Joy hologram thing. But I think this one is pretty much flawless, to be honest. Could be better, of course. Most things could always be a little bit better, but I think this is very satisfying. The blood work is fantastic. I'm really pleased with this one. And I'll always, usually when a figure comes with two head sculpts, I won't display the figure with the head sculpt on the base, like the spare one, because it just distracts. But in this figure's case, because of the nice square base, and there's room for the head sculpt just in the corner, and it's so easy to interchange the heads because of the magnet system, I will probably always have both these heads visible when the figure is on display. But I think this head sculpt looks amazing. I've got no problems with this one. Even those little scratches on his neck there as he came around, that is really, really nicely done. I'll just put them side by side. Are they the same sculpt? I'm looking, let me zoom in. Get some zoom action here. Let's get right in. Are they the same? The line in his brow between his eyebrows is exactly the same. The wrinkles on the forehead seem to be exactly the same. The eye shape is the same. The eyes are just painted. It's not even really that the battle damage one is looking up more than the other one, to be honest. They're just painted slightly different. The mouth looks the same. Yeah, it looks like the same. It's just the battle damage version of that sculpt, I guess. Man, like other folks have mentioned, it would have been sweet if this figure had moving eyes. That would really, you know, add so much more fun for the photography. You know, you're getting used to moving eyes now on all our figures, pretty much. If you collect Hot Toys or in-art stuff, Caustic Plastic now doing moving eyes, so it's becoming pretty commonplace. So I miss that with this figure. It's not a deal breaker for me, obviously it's here, but I do miss it. And look at the side profile here, both heads as well, just in case you're curious. Okay, I've switched out the jacket to the battle damage version with the extra blood on the side there, and when I re-dye this or recolor it, I will be adding some more blood. I'll even include it on the inside. I'll do all the blood where it's supposed to be on all the clothing and grime him up. And it's going to be interesting seeing the finished product. I'm looking forward to seeing it myself, but first I've got to do it. But I'll get that T800 Hot Toys figure review done, and then I will move back to Blade Runner Country. But I've done the collar mod again just now, just lifting it up at the back and gluing it in place. Still needs a lot of work, but I just don't like seeing the collar lying flat, so I've just done that now. Here he is next to the Hot Toys T1000 2.0 from Terminator 2. Just for a little height comparison for you. Here he is next to the Caustic Plastic Infinite Statue Chuck Norris, missing in action. Someone made it, and it was them. Yep, it's a pretty essential piece right there. I mean, that's the kind of figure that you could have near Agent K here. You know, just those kind of random classic films. You know, put RoboCop in there and The Crow, a few others that I've got in the collection. There he is next to the most recent Dark Knight Rises Hot Toys Batman figure. There he is next to a 1/12 scale werewolf. Random, but awesome. I just wanted to show that werewolf again, really. Recently reviewed that on the channel. Check it out. Articulation wise, he's fine. You got a double bend in the elbow, although, you know, getting the gun to sit where you want it to is not going to happen with the magnet system, unfortunately. But yeah, you can do all the movement you'd expect from a 1/6 figure these days. He's got double bend. He's got. Didn't really notice, you know, on some figures where you can push the shoulders up, make them look more kind of straight out or more slanted down. You may be able to do that. Well, I tried doing it, and he wouldn't quite do it for me. But he's got all the bends and turns and knee bends and all that stuff. Ankles are going to be restricted by the big boots that come up to about there. But yeah, double bend in the elbow. But the wrist magnet system hinders possibilities with that a little bit. And there he is with a whole bunch of other figures around him. He is on quite a tall base, and he's still, you know, noticeably small. It doesn't bother me. I'll just be careful who I put him next to. But, you know, the rumours are true. It is a slightly smaller than usual figure. Probably should have gone into this knowing how tall the Gos is. What's he? 5'10", 5'11", maybe 6 foot. You can let me know in the comments. Right folks, I'm going to wrap it up and give you my final thoughts and a score out of 10. I would have done a lot more work with this figure, but T800's coming in the morning. It's already 2 AM, whatever it is, so I have to get this done tonight. I'll be coming back and doing more. I'd feel better actually doing all the poses and stuff once all the mods are done, because then once all the mods are done, if I've done all the pose videos, then it's going to feel a bit repetitive doing it then. So yeah, I'll probably save all that for the mods. So final thoughts are, there's quite a few options when it comes to a Agent K 1/6 scale figure out there, all third party stuff. Some of them look pretty decent, but this is the best looking one. So if you're a big fan of the film, it's apparently a very hard license to get hold of for these figures, so this might be your only chance, but that's never really the case. Eventually something always happens, but how long are you willing to wait when such a cool character could be standing in your collection like this? So I say get it. I would give it an 8 out of 10. So remember, 7's good, 8's very good, 9 is excellent. This is not excellent, it is going for excellence. And if the head sculpts were painted a bit better, like they know some of them are, I'd probably forgive the coat color situation and be giving this the masterpiece treatment with the 10. But the truth is, even though they look great in some of the shots in this video, and this head sculpt is fine, like I said, because of the wet look is appropriate, but the regular head sculpt I definitely think could be better. Sorry, he's hiding back there in the background. It's capable, looking fantastic, but at the end of the day I wish that one was better. So can't get a 10, can't get a 9 for excellent, because it's going for excellence but it doesn't quite achieve that. So it's 8. It's very good. It's a very good figure. So that's it. Look out for the Terminator T800 Battle Damage review, hopefully coming tomorrow, as long as the situation with my doorbell not working and the package needing to be signed for, as long as that all goes well, then I'll be bringing you that probably tomorrow night, and then I'll be back with the mods videos for this figure. See, I get a bit of Shia LaBeouf sometimes as well coming through. With this head sculpt, when you get far away, I get a bit shyer. And then I get close, and it's him again. It really is a good head sculpt. So yeah, 8 out of 10. I definitely recommend it. And I love the movie, as I'm sure a lot of you guys do too. And if you're a Gosling fan, then check out the movie The Nice Guys if you haven't seen it. It's really, really funny. Him and Russell Crowe. It's very, very good. The Nice Guys. Alright, I'll be back soon. You make sure you subscribe. Don't miss out on what's coming up. I'll see you soon. Take it easy. Bye bye.